Hi everybody, Keith here. Hey, I wanted to talk to you today about going over documents when you get these summonses to court and stuff. And basically what it is, we've got a gal here that was just served a order for examination of judgment debtors. And on the very top, I'm going to go ahead and post a couple pictures I took of this document so everybody can follow along. I'm hoping you'll watch the video a couple times to get this stuff in your head, because this is how you're going to tear a document apart. You're going to start from the top and go all the way down to the bottom. And if you notice on this first picture, it says E-filed 2017 October 11, 11:20 a.m. Black Hawk, Clerk of District Court, and it's all in capital letters. So first of all, you have to understand Chicago Manual Style, Section 11, Section 141 and 147, I think, talks about ASL, American Sign Language. And that's what they're doing here, is they're using symbols. Those all capital letters in this are symbols, and it denotes a foreign language known as ASL or a corporate fiction. Now notice here it says Clerk of District Court. Right off the bat, we have a question about delegation of authority, because we know that the Clerk of District Court is the finance. That's what a clerk is. It deals with the finance part. That's why we're always talking about contract law. We know it's contract law. What they're doing here is they lost delegation of authority because it doesn't state which clerk. Was it the clerk of courts or the court clerk? And see, when we deal with these clerks, we have to understand we have to deal with the court clerk, not the clerk of the courts. So right there we lost delegation of authority. As well, like I said, it's in all capital letters. Then we go to the next line. It says, in the Iowa District Court for Black Hawk County. Again, it's all capital letters. And what that's denoting, again, is the American Sign Language, and in this case, it is the fiction known as the Iowa District Court for Black Hawk County, which is a subcorporation of the state of Iowa District Court, all of which have DUNS numbers on Dun & Bradstreet. Then it says Wheaton Franciscan Healthcare, Iowa DBA. That tells you this is a business. Again, a fiction. Even though it's not spelled in all capital letters on the front, here it says Wheaton Franciscan Healthcare, Iowa DBA in upper and lowercase letters. That's a deception, and we'll show you that here in a minute. Then it says, after it says Iowa DBA, it says Covenant Medical Center, Mercy Hospital, and Sartori Memorial. Then it says plaintiffs. And we have to remember right here, those plaintiffs are fictions. Fictitious plaintiff is what it should say. And that's what we'll make a note on top of this document. We'll go ahead and write right on there, fictitious plaintiff. Then it says versus, and then it says the gal's name in all upper and lowercase lettering, in its correct spelling, first, middle, and last. And then down below that it says defendant. Then you see it says case number, and then order for examination of judgment debtors. And again, and this is in bold lettering and all caps. Remember, check out your Chicago Manual Styles and what it says about the use of all cap letters on documents. It's just kind of like the four-corner rule. You can take it right off there. It's as if it isn't even there. So then it says, down below that, it's got all this information in regards to what this case is about. But we're not concerned about that at all. Not one bit. Because like I said, this is contract. And you can look up this case number and see what kind of case it is, whether it's criminal or civil. And if it's civil, then it's contract. And what they're doing is they're trying to force, like I said, it's two different fictitious entities, the district court and the Wheaton Franciscan Health Center, trying to get this woman to confirm a contract, which is known as a quasi-contract, and they did not fully disclose these elements to her, that when they used her Social Security number, they've already been paid. And now they're wanting cash, Federal Reserve notes, which are known as promissory notes. So what we're simply going to do is ask for a true bill. One way or another, that's a simple request, and they should produce a true bill. If they can't produce a true bill, then she is not obligated because they are not willing to fully disclose that there is not really a contract. If they do produce a true bill, then she has the right to pay the debt in like kind. Federal Reserve notes, like I said, are promissory notes. Google your state promissory note form and use your state promissory note to pay off your debts. If we don't, and we don't find out how to legitimately use these things, which is a correct remedy at law, then we're not doing something right. Because that seems like a pretty simple process. Requirement of a true bill. If they can't come up with a true bill, then they have no contract. If they show a true bill, then you have the right to pay that debt off with like kind. They're demanding Federal Reserve notes, which are promissory notes. You can pay in like kind by paying with a different promissory note. So at current time, if there is any controversy before the court, it would be the court's controversy. We have our solution. Anyway, let's go back to this last page, and we'll tear off this last page. Again, you'll notice, like I said in the very beginning, this is e-filed. So there is no wet pen signature. Along with that, you'll notice it says State of Iowa Courts, and above that it's got the seal. Again, this is a copy, which was e-filed, and then electronically signed, so there's no wet pen signature, and nobody will verify or certify this state seal. I guarantee it, because this document is an attempt at fraud. If it's not an attempt at fraud, then they'll come forward with the true bill and show that it is a true contract. Other than that, what is there to argue? There is no controversy before the court except that. And I am not the one bringing it. I am just the one enforcing the law's maxims of contracts. Again, a fictitious entity cannot contract with a living man. They have to contract with a fictitious entity. If she does not have control of that fictitious entity because it does not belong to her, she did not create it. Again, according to your own maxims of law, you can only control that which you create. You cannot control that which you did not create. Then she cannot control it. They are in control of it. How can you not see this, people? Rebut this shit. So let me see here. Oh yeah, and then you'll notice on the back here it says order setting hearing. So ordered. And you'll notice on the front it says order for examination of judgment and debtors. All in capital letters. And then you have a signature by a Joseph Moodhart who is claiming to be a senior judge. Now, if he's a senior judge, we're going to find out what kind of oath he has to provide. And the last time I talked to him, he does have an oath, and you can get it through the Secretary of State. So we'll look that up. We're also going to look up everybody's DUNS number, including Mr. Joseph Moodhart, and see if he is currently trading anything on the market, as well as the, quote, defendant, and see if they're trading her name on the market, without her knowledge, unwittingly, unknowingly, and unintentionally, through the fraudulent use of the Social Security number that was derived from a fraudulent document known as a birth certificate, that was derived from a certificate of live birth, that was derived from a statement of live birth, that no one had any idea of even what was going on until after the fact. Void ab initio, no matter how you look at it, because it is not a genuine document to begin with. And then it was unlawfully conveyed into a fraudulent instrument. Get this through your head, people. This is contract law, and it's pretty simple. All comes down to your signature. Every time you sign any document, it becomes an instrument giving your Social Security number and a trustee to the use of that Social Security number so they can trade that estate account on the market. Understand this stuff, people. Get out of it. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 10, for the love of money is the root of all evil. And if you want to keep chasing that money through the UCC and authenticating the birth certificate, you're feeding the beast. There are other ways to do this. Other ways to do this. Start using those promissory notes. State of Iowa promissory note form. You can Google it. It'll show you a state promissory form that you can fill out and hand over. I believe you hand it to the CFO or CEO of a bank, and they will disperse the funds to the person owed. Well, yeah, they might have a judgment against her, but is that judgment valid, Bruce? Because I assure you it is not valid unless they can come forward with a true bill. And that's all we're requesting. A true bill, which is the foundation of any genuine document made into an instrument. It has to derive from a true bill. And if you look, people, Google your state code of criminal procedure and see if in there, when you look up the grand jury indictment form, Google your state's grand jury indictment form and see if somewhere on there it doesn't say true bill. In either criminal law or civil law, which being commercial law, you have to have a true bill in order to enforce anything. Start finding out the genuine document is known as a true bill. If they don't have it, they don't have a contract. They're performing quasi-contracts against the law without full disclosure, against people that are doing so, signing their name unwittingly, unknowingly, and unintentionally. Anyway, hope you guys understand this. This is how you tear their documents apart. But you got to know it first. Don't believe me. Again, I'm going to tell you, don't believe me like I don't want you to believe your government. Research this stuff so you know. When I refer to the Chicago Manual Style 11, 141, and 147, that's off the top of my head. It may not be accurate. So check it out. Yes, Michelle, a true bill will have a wet ink signature. A wet ink signature. 2 of them. For contract, at least one jury foreman for a grand jury indictment. I don't know exactly how that works, but I would think it would have all 12 or 13, however you look at it. But anyway, I hope people understand this. This is how you tear them apart. They're using words against you. You fucking tear them words apart. Words, terms, concepts, ideas, sentences, paragraphs, they're all being used against you. Learn how they're doing that. And destroy it. Shove it down their fucking throats. You don't have to go out in these streets and protest. Make notes. Learn diligently how to take notes. And when they give you these documents, you start writing notes on them. Fictitious entity. E-filed, no wet pen signature. Electronically signed, no wet pen signature. Case title. Wheaton Franciscan, Dunn's number. Plaintiff, Dunn's number. What does this have to do with the living man? Contract law, rules of commerce, maxims of law. Say a fictitious entity cannot contract with a living man. You can only control that which you create. You cannot control that which you did not create. It's simple, people. Simple. Anyway, that's all I got for today. I love everybody. Hopefully you'll leave your comments, share this, and let people know. You do not have to put up with this. They are lying to you on paper. If you take off all the shit that makes bullshit and try to read what's left and it doesn't make sense, it's bullshit. So understand this. Anyway, I'm out. God bless. Love you all. Have a great day.